Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday. You can probably tell from this angle, but I've been recording today. And that's a pretty big deal because I'm recording again. Like I have not recorded anything in a bit. Before Sagan had passed, Dan and I had been very productive and had basically all of February stuff done pretty early in the month, which was wonderful. We had done First 20, we had done plenty of Morning Mario, we had done Smash pretty far along, and we'd done all this stuff, and then, Sagan just very suddenly passed, and it put me in a bind mentally, but it did not put me in a bind from a video perspective because we had stuff to release. And I'm grateful for that because, I haven't recorded anything, and today was the day I was ready to do it. I didn't have to record Mario yet. I could have waited until the weekend, but today was the first day I think that I was actually ready to record something again, because we haven't stepped back into recording at all. Mal got into recording her next painting, but I hadn't stepped back into any Let's Play stuff whatsoever, and today was the first day back, and I think it did okay. I've had time away, and again, so grateful that we pushed ahead as far as we did. Our goal is always to work ahead, always, to try and get as much done as early as possible. But we often don't hit that mark. And February was actually one of the first months in a while where we were pretty far ahead. And I remember it was close to the beginning of February where we had a good bit done, and I was like, Dan, we did it. We actually have most everything taken care of. And then this all happened, and as awful as it was, I was grateful that we had done that because Stephen Plays was basically uninterrupted the whole time, and that's just because we had already done it all. It was already done, and now as we get close to the point where I need to record something, I feel like I can. So today I did. And there will be Morning Mario next week. Now I say we didn't miss anything, and we technically did. There's no Mario this week, just because we ran out last Friday. I had recorded that in early February, and I was like, yeah, I'm not ready to record that yet. So we didn't release any this week. But today I was ready, and I got back to it. And I'm okay. It's a weird feeling, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want anyone to feel sad, and I know I've already done so much talking about the whole thing, but just putting it into the perspective of how it relates to work, I'm finally to the point where it's not occupying my thoughts all the time. And I've healed enough, and I've started to embrace the new normal enough that I can focus on being entertaining again. And for quite a while there, I could not. And I'm doing better now, and that's why I was able to work again today. And it's still going to be hard. I'm not going to lie about that. It's probably have to take it in tiny doses, but it's all right. We're getting there. I can put this down. People know about this, right? I've talked about the green screen because it's so stinking fantastic. I am not sponsored by Elgato, and I occasionally have issues with some of their capture products, but like this thing's freaking great. And I will sing its praises till the end of days. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. And that would be sponsored, kind of. It's not sponsored, but I think people are aware we make a kickback on Amazon stuff, so you can buy this wherever. They might even sell it at Best Buy, but if you choose to use Amazon, we get some portion back. I don't remember what it is. Oh, there'll be a link down below. I'm actually pretty excited about something today, in addition to working again, because I'm excited about that. I'm excited to feel productive. And I mean, I've been fairly productive because I've been, keeping up on vlogs and stuff. But, to get back to recording. There we go. It's starting to get dark in here. This is my last light. I should probably go turn the lights on in here before I turn that on. I'm excited for something that I am excited for, and I feel like no one else will be excited for. You hungry? I ordered some stuff, and let me go downstairs and give him a little food, and then show you what it is. What? What? You ready to eat? Yeah? I was upstairs and I was recording. Also, it's not like we're past mealtime. Like, you're still on time to eat, honey. It's actually very funny because, at mealtime, both of them were quite vocal. But, I mean, since Sagan's passed, I feel like, especially in just the past few days, Kepler's been much more vocal than he ever was about food at food time. And I think it's clear to me that he's picking up some of the slack. Aren't you? You are. You definitely are. Because, he would, whine and complain a little bit when it was close to food time. But it wasn't like this. And I really honestly feel like since it's not him and Sagan sharing that burden of meow, 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 he feels like he has to, meow more. I don't know. He's silly. There you go, baby. You enjoy, okay? So you're probably wondering, Steven, why are you so excited? Well, I ordered a few things that are basically designed to make my life a little bit easier. And in order to explain what those things are adequately, I need to start by explaining the stuff I have and why I needed these things to begin with. So you may remember this. This is a pistol grip. I actually talked about it on the vlog before, maybe a few years ago. And I use this thing all the time. I mean, it's a lifesaver. It's a much easier way of holding the camera than the way I'm holding it right now with nothing on it. Because I basically have my hand like this. I'm supporting the bottom of the camera here and clasping it that way. It's not the nicest way to hold a camera. So I generally, almost all the time, use a pistol grip. It's got a 1/4-inch screw in the bottom. It just goes into the bottom of the camera, which is where you would normally screw in something for the tripod. I have a cage on my camera, so I've got mount points all over the place. So if I wanted to, I could even mount it to the side. The problem is, there are times when I'm not using it with a pistol grip. There are occasions where I will use this thing handheld. Generally, if I want to get a shot that's in a restaurant or a place that's really tight and I have the camera back up to me, I don't want this thing sticking off the bottom of it because it kind of gets in the way of shooting. The other time, the other thing that I do is occasionally I will put the camera on something like a GorillaPod. And I do this a lot when we travel. I'm constantly swapping between a GorillaPod or the pistol grip or handheld, and I'm moving the camera around a lot. The problem is, every time I want to use a new accessory, I have to unscrew it. And that might not sound like a big deal, but especially on vacation, if we're out and I'm shooting a lot of different things, I'm moving the camera around a lot. It might be on the pistol grip, then it might go here, then it might be handheld, and in one day, it'll be swapping around a lot. So it finally occurred to me that I could probably make my life a little bit easier if I went to a plate, a tripod plate, that would be able to quickly swap into different environments. And I decided to go with Arca Swiss, and I just went with that because that's a standard. It's been around for a long time. There's a lot of things that support that, and I was like, all right, we'll just go that route. So this is an Arca Swiss plate, and you can see it's not a big old thing, but it's got these little like sloped edges on the side. And the idea behind this, if you're not familiar with this, is that you put this on the bottom of your camera, and then every other device that you want to use your camera with has a mount that receives this plate. So for instance, I actually got a replacement head for the Joby. This is the GorillaPod 3K, and this is a really good size for the mirrorless cameras that I use. So I didn't want to get anything bigger because they have a 5K, but it's huge. This is a good size, but I wanted a different head because this head doesn't have a pan lock. Small Rig sells one that does, and it has an Arca Swiss mount. So I'm going to swap the head off of the GorillaPod 3K with this because it's the same thing, except it can also lock for pans, which is nice, and it has an Arca Swiss mount, which means that once I have this thing on the bottom of the camera, I can quickly and easily put it into my GorillaPod. No problem. I also got this thing, which is a new grip, and the only reason I got it, because this one still works fine, but occasionally I want to swap this around because it's got the finger grooves, and a lot of times I have it on the camera backwards so it's pointing to me, but whenever I flip it around to like continue filming, the finger grooves are then in my hand. And I'm like, well, that's kind of crappy. So I found this online, and it's got a bunch of mount points on it too, a bunch of screws that you can use if you wanted to. But I put a Arca Swiss mount on top, and now I'm all set here. So this doesn't have finger grooves, which, I mean, could be a con to some extent, but I can more easily swap this around and not feel like I'm going crazy. But the mount on top means that I can put the camera right into this without having to screw anything in. I don't have to do that. It just goes into the mount, which is really convenient. And then finally, I got another one of these mounts to go onto the stand I have upstairs for when I do First 20 streams and when I do Morning Mario, so I don't have to screw anything there either. I can just slide the camera on, and I'm good to go. So yeah, this was a good idea. This is probably something I needed to do a while ago because I had this thought process probably a few months ago. I remember being in China and taking one thing off and putting one thing on and thinking, this sucks. Like just that quick mental moment of like, this is not the best way to do this. And it was only recently that I was thinking about it. I was like, if I just went to a single, system where everything used that, I would save myself a lot of time, and I will. And I'm very happy about that. Anyway, I'm already linking to the green screen in the description, so if you're interested in any of this stuff, I'll put that in the description as well. Technically, I haven't had a chance to use any of this stuff yet, but I bought it based on the reviews on Amazon, so I feel like those people probably have some idea of what they're talking about. And like this grip would be very hard to mess up. This is just a machined piece of metal, and actually very much resembles some of the other stuff that I've bought from Small Rig for our cameras over the past few years, although this wasn't from Small Rig specifically. And I know that for a lot of you, you'd be like, I don't even have a camera. I shoot with my phone. Totally understandable. And for a lot of people, that's just all you need. But if you are using a dedicated camera, or if you want, a mount system to swap things around, I don't know if that's of interest to you, then, I'll put the stuff in the description so you can think about it. The new GorillaPods too, because I have two 3Ks, because the joints got loose in one after a while. But the new one that I got came with a phone mount also. So I could I could put the phone mount on one of the plates, and then I would have the phone mount ready to go at any time too. That's a good idea. Fast. You want to be fast. I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. It was good to get back to work today. I haven't not felt productive because I have been keeping up with the vlog, but getting back into recording, which is, what I know, it's what I've been doing for 9 years. It feels good. It feels good. And I hope that, people understand why I took a break from doing Morning Mario, and I hope people will be excited that I'm back. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?